kind of resemble middle school. Why do I feel like I'm going to get slapped on the back of the wrist if I say, actually, just need to work from home too? I have things to do at 5 o'clock. I'll be more productive at home today. I don't have to commute. Why can't I make that call as a 29-year-old woman? That's the gap. That's the issue. It's the lack of autonomy in these positions and the fact that grown humans are being treated like children going to elementary school. The argument for a lot of these executives is that they think that people aren't working when they work from home. And I just feel like they're giving up a lot of power and control. And they're like, well, I'm paying you, so I need to see that you're sitting here and working every day. And I just think that's a very old and jaded way to think about like the workplace. And I think there are updates and improvements that we should all recognize and welcome. I'm dressed for the office now. Just the one good thing about going into the office is that you get to wear cute outfits, right? I just feel like there's such a miscommunication between the generations on like this topic. Okay, I need to stop yapping.
Okay. We're going to play devil's advocate today, okay? We are going to play devil's advocate with this video. Nose itching again. I'm telling you guys, every time I start filming, my nose starts itching. I was about to say I'm speechless, but I can't be speechless when we're having this conversation today because we got to talk about this. Okay, so let me give you some background for me because I am not the type of person who likes to speak for everyone. I am in the military. I did go through 2020. At the time, I was not stationed on a ship, and we did have days where we had to work from home. I do admin in the military, so I was able to, because we didn't want our desks were so close together. Even with the mask, our commanding officer decided that he wanted only 50% of the people at work, and we would alternate days. I loved working from home. I loved working from home because I could work on the computer with my pajamas on. I knew that I had to be productive. I knew that if I wasn't and there were issues, that my boss was going to check up on me. All right, so let's go back to Homegirl in the video. Her saying that it's being treated like elementary school. Okay, I look at it. I look at it like this. When you were initially hired, if you were initially hired at a corporation prior to the whole pandemic, and you are just now being called back into the office after like almost 5 years, I feel like you have options. From what I've been reading, they'll either buy you out your contract. You can just say you're not coming back. There are different packages you can get. But some people have been home for 5 years. And in the last 5 years, not saying all, please do not take this video as an everybody or an all. Because I notice with sometimes when you make these videos, people just they'll listen and you say that one thing that they don't like and they'll pick apart that whole part of the video and they won't even listen to the rest. It even happens in the comment. They'll see one comment they don't like and they'll just be like, oh my gosh, and just go crazy. Okay. Me personally, would I be annoyed that I had to go back in the office? Yes, I would be completely annoyed because who doesn't want to be able to be at home, run errands? Like that is the life. That is the life. If I could be at home, run errands, still get my work done, and the production or the quality doesn't go down, I'm all for it, right? But what I've seen here in the last few years, customer service sucks. Let's just be real about that. Customer service has declined in the last 5 years. It sucks. People just don't care. When I'm calling a corporation and your baby and your dog are barking and crying in the background, and I'm already frustrated because I probably had to wait on hold too long, and that's the type of customer service that I'm getting, people are getting fed up. Like, I'm not going to get that with you working in the office. Now, I get that you might not have a babysitter because say you would I take my child to childcare if I got to work from home, or to daycare if I got to work from home all the time? I probably would cancel the daycare, because logically, financially, that would be smart, because I wouldn't have to pay for childcare and I could do my job at home. But at the same time, if every time someone's calling my line, or I'm making a phone call, or I'm on a Zoom call, and there's a child screaming in the background, that is very frustrating for the other person on the receiving end. And that is very unprofessional. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. Once again, not everyone is doing that. I have another video I wanted to pull up for you guys. Oh, and then she mentioned that when she goes in the office, she gets to wear cute clothes. Okay, I guess that's I guess that's a priority. Um, I guess it's an issue that a corporation, a person who they own the business and they are making these decisions, are saying, I want my people back in the office. People are saying that it's controlling. Fine, you might have to find another job. Unless you own a business, you are going to be controlled in some way, shape, or form. You are the worker bee. You are not the owner. So you have to kind of look at it like that and realize that you are going to have to listen to these people's rules. And if you don't like them, you have the option to leave and find another place of employment, find another job that allows you to work from home. This woman right here.
At one point, you were in the office,
Let
but
me
now
rewind
you're
this
home.
for you.
Did you just get a return to office mandate? If you're one of the 75% of people who just got a return to office mandate, I might be able to help you negotiate your way out of it. So my name's Elizabeth. I write for Forbes, and I just got done with a piece on how to successfully negotiate your way out of a return to office mandate. So there are a few things to note here. Number one, if you were hired as a remote worker and now they're
Just to help you out, this is Elizabeth Pearson, Pearson, on TikTok. So if you're one of those people that want her help, I'm giving you this information in case you haven't seen her.
Trying to force you back into the office or into the office for the first time, you definitely have some leverage here. I always say, look back through your hiring materials, what agreements that you signed. This is something that you can absolutely bring up directly with HR, or you can go to your boss first. Another thing is you have to show receipts. You have to show that you're actually incredibly productive and effective.
First of all, you have to show receipts that you're incredibly productive and effective. You should have been doing that anyways. If you're working from home, you need to be giving the same quality of work that you were giving as if you were in the office. Because if you aren't, and you don't have these receipts that she's saying that you that you need to have, Mrs. Pearson or Miss Pearson, you don't have those receipts. How are you mad that somebody wants to let you go? Like, you really can't be upset about that. Let's see what else she has to say.
Working from home. So this is going to be easier to do if at one point you were in the office, but now you're home. I think you should look at project scores. Like, are you able to deliver things earlier than deadline? Are you doing it under budget? You really have to make the case for why you're actually more effective at home. Less distractions. There's so many different.
And I think that's fair. I think if you can prove, if your company has a policy where they're saying, we're going to allow a certain amount of people to stay at home and a certain amount of people are going to have to return, and you provide all these things that Elizabeth just said that you need to provide, and you end up being one of those people that get to stay home, I think that's fair. But if your productivity has decreased, your customer service has decreased, whatever you do for a living has decreased and has impacted that company during the last 5 years, why are you mad that they want you back in an office? That's the part I don't get. Like, you still have to play your part. You still have to be a part of the team. You've potentially can be a person who has had a great opportunity to be at home for 5 years. How are you asking a company that you work for why they want you back? You honestly, unless you're have some type of contract, you don't have the right to do that. You don't. I know it sucks. The human side of me is like, yes, I would want to stay at home, but you can't be mad at someone for asking you to come back to their business. You have an option to take whatever they offer you to leave, or you should be looking for other employment, because we kind of knew that this was coming.
Things, but you can't just say, well, I'm less distracted when I'm at home. No, like they want data. They want to show numbers. They want to show productivity. They want to show how quickly your turnaround is on things.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to really plead the case that like you aren't really missing out on any of the company culture. It's such bullshit, but this is an excuse that they're using to drag people into the office and try to control them and just micromanage them.
Okay.
They're saying, well, it's not good for culture. And in some instances, maybe it isn't, but I'm going to guess that if you're watching this, you're probably incredibly productive from home. And
I'm productive anywhere I am. Let's get that straight. Let's get that on record.
You're going to carry on relationships with coworkers that you actually have an interest in, not just fake bullshit, water cooler, small talk at the beginning of Zooms. I think that it's much more than just being in an office that creates inter office friendships and relationships and a collaborative environment. So if they try to say that, you can always put it back on them and ask for proof of that as well, because it's not your experience. Your experience is that you're able to be incredibly focused. Another thing you could do is get a note from a therapist. If you have any twinge of ADHD, any of that stuff, if you're on meds for anything, I think that this is a case that you can take to HR and it's legitimate. If you are easily distracted, it can take anywhere from 20.
Okay. The only argument I have with that is, and this could be for somebody that got hired after or while they were hired into a work from home job, but if you were at that job prior, I don't see how that's going to work. I don't see how that method's going to work. And Elizabeth, we're done with you we're done with you for now. A few other videos that I saw yesterday when I was doing some research for this video, there were people, and you have to blame these people. They were literally one lady was at Disneyland. She was at Disneyland with her laptop. She filmed this and put this on social media. Okay. She was like, "Hi, I'm starting my day. Here's my coffee. Here is my laptop. All right." She didn't even start her little vlog or reel or whatever with her typing at the computer. She actually started with getting her coffee, going on 2 rides, and then said, "Okay, well, time to check my email." Yes, this all can be for clickbait. I'm not that naive. Somebody brought that up in my last video. They're like, they're clickbaiting you, and I'm like, I know some of this stuff is clickbait, but legit, some of this stuff is true too. So she went on a few rides. She did a little bit of work. Then she was like, "Oh, it's my lunch break." Okay, you film this. You film this if without the fear of your company seeing this. Then I bet you that would be the same chick that would be on TikTok saying, or Instagram Reels or YouTube saying, "I lost my job and I don't know what I'm going to do." There was another chick that I saw. She was in a swimming pool and she had like this cover over her. It was there. I think they were project managers for some company. They had this little cover over their laptop so it didn't get wet when they splashed, which made no sense because the laptop was still exposed. Maybe they were hiding it from the heat then, now that I think about it, because it was some kind of tent. So maybe it was hot out where they were because it looked like really nice weather. And they were tanning and she'd go swim over, type a few things, probably clickbait. But I'm saying, even if all of these things were clickbait, if these companies are, you don't think that these CEOs have TikTok, or their children have TikTok, or someone they know have TikTok, or an Instagram and YouTube, and you don't think that these people are watching this and thinking, "Damn, what are my employees doing? Some of my employees are probably getting away with the same stuff, and I'm paying them." So this is not video. Once again, is not to bash anyone that works from home that is being called back in the office, because I know it can be a culture shock. I think one person, which I would have never done, one person that I had read was really upset because they had bought a house 3 hours away from where they worked or where they work. Now that the wife is being called back in the office, and the husband's like, "How is this fair? We closed on our house. We just moved. We've been here a month, and it's going to be impossible to make that 3 hour commute." I don't know if people thought that this was going to last forever. I don't know if people thought it was going to last forever. And who knows? They might call you back in the office and people might plead their case and they might say, "Hey, you know what? You guys don't have to come back in the office." Because another complaint has been, "Well, where are we going to put all these people?" The same place they were before the pandemic happened, like the same place. I don't know. It seems like like I said, there are some reasonable people, and I think there are people who should be rewarded that have those receipts. But once again, if your company doesn't care about receipts and your company just says, I want you back in this office, fortunately, you're probably going to have to go. You're probably going to have to go. And if not, I would probably suggest seeking employment somewhere else. I wouldn't suggest quitting right away unless you had another job, because then unless you have a huge savings, you'd be up. I don't know. You have more problems than ever if you had to go without a job, not knowing when you were going to get hired for the next job. So I highly recommend not quitting, because a lot of people go and do things these days based off of emotion. I don't like what he said. I quit. I know someone that just did it, and they didn't quit. And then they had to ask their family to borrow money for a car payment, credit card bills, and all this stuff, because they got mad at one thing that was said to them. They quit their job. And then the next thing was, oh, shoot, I'll think later about this. I don't have any money. She ended up getting another job, but these are things that I'm talking about. Like you have to forward think when you're in a position where this working from home thing might, or going back in the office thing might not be for me. I need to have a plan on what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other companies that are still going to allow people to work from home, and maybe you should look into one of those. But hey, I don't know. This is just a discussion. What are your thoughts? This is getting crazy. This is getting crazy. Just every time I open up social media, it's just like bam, 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 just something different happening. So what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.